Alright, so welcome to the Arah Path 1 Explorable mode level 80 dungeon, and at the moment this is the final dungeon that you will get into the game in terms of getting the dungeon master title and etc. Now, just for your interest, Arah Explorable mode is very tedious, and I mean it because I have seen people in my guild and I have seen friends of mine, a lot of them fail this dungeon miserably. And if you don't have a good team and if people just muck around, it can take 2, 3 to 4 hours and God knows when. So my advice is that you take this dungeon very seriously and only do this dungeon if you are comfortable enough with some of the basic knowledge. And I would like to say this again, by the common knowledge or the normal knowledge or basic knowledge or whatever you want to call it, is that you need to know how to stack mine and you need to know how the combo field works. And I'm not going to be doing that in this video because that's the basic stuff that already been covered before. Now, you need to have a lot of food in your inventory, and I mean it, because the food will give you a lot of benefits in terms of dealing damage, in terms of the boss fight, and in terms of other buff that you will receive from consuming the food. So it depends on from one class to another. Now in this case I'm using my warrior, and so because of that I'm using my food that will give me a lot of power and critical damage. And because I'm going for the pure damage, which is berserker, and it will deal a lot of damage to the boss and to the mob. So I'm taking a food that can boost my attack power up, and in this case I'm using not condition, it was power and critical damage. Yeah, power and critical damage. Aside from that, I'm also taking some of my potion that will give me an increase in power against undead creatures, and that's crucial because the Arah is full of undead creatures that you will find in the dungeon. So just take them, use them to your benefit, and get it done fast, because if you don't, it can take hours and hours and hours. And most importantly, you need to coordinate with your team effectively and efficiently. Now, are running this dungeon with some of the people you know, then you shouldn't have any problem with coordinating with the people that you know. But if you are running with the public people like I did in this video, this is for the first time that I did with the public people, you need to either you lead the dungeon. If you know how to do this, you need to lead the dungeon. If you don't know how to do this, you and all the teammates in the team need to elect a leader, and the leader has to guide all of you through this. Now, just don't, divide a group into two groups. By dividing two groups into two groups, I mean that like one person say some doing this and another person doing that and another person doing that. That is not coordinated and like aiming toward the common goal. So you need to have one person and you all agree to do what that person say, and that is crucial because the point is, at the end of the day, you need to finish the dungeon fast, and because of that you don't want to waste any time. So just follow one person. So at the beginning of the dungeon, you need to elect that person and say, okay, you will lead and we will do exactly what you told us to do. That's it. And follow the person, because yeah, it can be a very tedious and long and waste of time if one person say this, another person say that, and everybody just doing their own way, and it's not gonna help the team. The introduction done. So what you also need to know is that in the Arah you need to skip a lot of mobs, and the reason for that is because is not that we wanna fight, but because some of them can be long, some of them can be tedious. So why starting a fight when you can just skip them and then just moving on to the next and finish the dungeon in about like an hour or two? Save a lot of people time and effort. Yeah, so now we got that one done. Now I'm gonna be talking about the first boss of this dungeon, and basically what you need to do is to clear some of the mobs you skip at the intro, like what I did in what we did in the video, that we skip a lot of mobs at the beginning of the dungeon, and then we just come straight to the ooze. Now for the ooze, before the ooze you need to clear most of the mobs, and once you already clear them, you need to pull the ooze back to where we are standing, like up on top of the rock, and after that we just have to start dealing damage to the ooze, and that's pretty much it. It's easy. But if you prefer to do it a normal way, you just have to dodge the AoE attack and etc. And it's just a waste of time. So what we did in here, we just pull the ooze back to the beginning of the not the beginning of the dungeon, but behind the wall and on top of the rock, so we can start dealing damage to the ooze effectively and save a lot of time. Now you need to have at least 3 sets of weapons. Now as my warrior, I have 3 sets of weapons. Actually it's 4. I have 4 sets of weapons. One of them is my great sword, the other one is my axe and mace, and to swap for the my stack, and to swap to increase my damage up. And I have my rifle, which is for Lupi, which you're gonna be fighting him in the middle of the dungeon, and for all paths. And basically he is a newbie killer, and also for somebody unorganized group, you'll be fighting him and you will have a nightmare fighting him, I can assure you that. And I have my longbow, which is required for me as a warrior for path 1, and I'll be talking about why do I need a longbow in the later on when we are starting to kill the boss just before Lupi. So now we got that going, so I'll just leave you to watch the video for all of the mobs that we kill and how we did it, and I will come back and talk about the second puzzle just before the second boss in a bit, and why do you need to pay attention to that. So I will see you in a bit.
Strength fails me. Eat my dust. To unleash. Can't see anything. I can't see anything. For great justice rising. Seriously. Crush it! I can't see anything.
For great justice rising!
That feels good.
Take it off! Take it off! Revelation!
For great justice! Feel the adrenaline! For great justice!
On my mark!
Active fighting conditions. For great justice!
Just getting started. On my mark! Too strong. My leg! Shake it off!
My strength feels for great justice!
Can't see anything. Strong.
Faster!
So after running past the part, what you need to do is that you need to stand under the light, and the light will give you a buff. Now once you get yourself buff with the light, you can start killing the mobs, and I would suggest you to get the stack up to about 6 or 7, and then you start killing the mobs. Now the light can also kill you as well, so it's a double-edged ability, so you need to watch out for that. And what I would suggest you to do is that if you are unable to kill all of the mobs at once, you can pull them one by one and then have the light stack to like 6 or 7 and then kill them one by one. It's just easier, and if you're not comfortable with pulling all of them at the same time, yeah, it's probably safer if you just kill them one by one. So that's it for the puzzle. I'll come back and talk about the second boss.
Eat my dust! Refreshing.
I'm a hands-on academic. I have the mystic Jotun stone.
Okay, so for the second boss of this dungeon, what you need to do is to stand on top of the hole and start shooting him from afar. Now occasionally you can also melee him if you have enough people standing on the hole. So what exactly does this hole gonna do? Well, he can dig underground and then start avoiding all of our attacks. So the only one way that you can pull him up is to stand on the hole, so he can start popping up again. Now he will also summon some of his minions, but they are minority. You can also kill him if you have a lot of AoE effect. But aside from that, you just need to watch out for his AoE as well. And well, to be perfectly honest with you, I think this boss is quite easy if you have any fire condition damage, and also if you are not comfortable with meleeing him. So all you need to do is to stand on top of the hole just like I did with my warrior. And the only thing that I did was I used my longbow and I start shooting him from afar, and I use my condition spell, burning condition spell, on my skill list of my longbow, and then I start killing him and along with his minions. So it is a really easy fight. All you need to do is just stand on top of the hole and start shooting him from afar. It's like it couldn't get any easier than that. So After this, you will be fighting with Lupi, the most and famous middle boss of own Arah, and a lot of people rage quit just because of Lupi. So I don't mean to scare you if you are new to this Arah, but that's something that you need to be aware of. So I will see you in a separate video for Lupi, which is the video that I will talk about him in a very detail.
I will return the favor. For great justice.
Shake it off!
I've got the Mystic Stone.
Great justice. Buster.
Can't see anything.
Feels nice. Go ahead. Hit. Great justice.
bite dust.
Such might!
Urge to kill rising.
Now we have come to the final boss of the Path 1 Arah, and I would say that the boss is way easier than I imagined it to be. Well, when the first time I started to run this, I was just like, it's gonna be hard, but no, it was actually very easy. And some of you might think that, oh, it's bullshit, but no, I can assure you that it is easy. So all you need to do is to pick up the crystal, and then you use the crystal to reflect the damage back to the boss. And if your crystal break during the fight, then you need to stand behind somebody who has the crystal intact, and then you just have to deal damage to him from behind a person, and yeah, stack might and deal damage to him. Easy stuff. Well, you can see the video if you don't believe what I just said, but honestly, the boss is easy, and so you shouldn't have any problem dealing with him. And all the stuff that I would like to add is that stack might, which I already said that. If you have any banner, use them. If you have any check your food, if you don't have any of them up yet, use them. And aside from that, just kill him. And that will be it for this path 1. I will see you in the next video for other paths of the Arah dungeon. Hopefully we can get this one done for your dungeon master title.
I'll remember this. Wait for justice!
secret of the Jotun. Let me place the mystic stones the Jotun ghosts have provided. Success! We have found it! There! The day is gone. Tell us what's going
That was fun. Let's do